That's better. Oh, so as of now, unless one of the others takes up the mantle, no more regular chair cats. Haven't found him, but he's not in the house. The chair cat is dead. Long live the chair cat. I'd need to get another chair that encourages chair cat behavior, though, too. Currently, none of them do. And yes, I saw the trailer for Alien Romulus. Just like every other damn thing out there these days, let's take what people know and just make a new movie with it. Let's not try anything new. Let's have that shot of Ripley with the pulse rifle. Let's have 20 facehuggers boil out of a door when it opens, you know. Let's steal half the plot from Alien Isolation. Probably say this, though. It'll probably be better than Star Wars Alkalite, but what do I know? So the tracks on this are going to be more of a pain in the ass, but they'll be better than the ones that were on the Apocalypse. They're more of a standard link by link system, which is good. See how many sprues we got? We got 4. Okay. But yeah, that's more of a standard system right there. So those I don't mind. Whatever the heck that was they had for the Apocalypse, that I did mind. Put those in the box top over there. They're basically the same as the links for the Weasel, which I've got to get to finishing one of these days. Like you, though, one, shiny object syndrome. 2, I just lose interest in certain things, and meanwhile other things grab it, and I'll bust it out quicker than anything I've worked on before. Some pretty nice parts, though. There's 4 of these. The rest out of here. Grip parts. Oh, and there's this.
Yes, sir. Destination. Unit
I don't know if that was coming across, but this kit has a little voice unit and sound effects. There's that. It gets put into the turret somewhere. And then the on-off switch for the lights. Where did I put that assembly? Looks like it's going to be similar to the Apocalypse, where it's just a little touch thing. Yeah, the audio range is not set for it. Like the Apocalypse, it's snapped together. I'm gonna glue what I need to glue though. Set that aside over here. I'm just getting everything open. We'll do a quick little review of the parts too. I'll probably go with a gray scheme similar to what's on the cover. I just don't know if I should change the secondary color to something else like orange or red, where you could do that in the game if you wanted to. But if I look tired, it's because I am. Was up till 4 in the morning, keeping an ear out while I'm trying to get to sleep. Um, every time, sorry, got an itch. Every time I'd almost be asleep, I'd hear a meow. Turns out it was Marbles downstairs meowing. I think the J35 is the vegan, right? Oh, it's the Draken. Yeah, it's the known as a cranked arrowhead Delta. Yeah, that is a cool one. This is going to be a fun one. Should I kind of go a little overboard and add like the cast texture on the hull parts and the turret parts just to ground it a bit more? You'll have fun with that though. Does it come with the splinter scheme as an option for it? Like the mechs in Generation Zero? I know they didn't always wear it, but I know it was an option at one point. Okay. Um, I don't know if the markings would translate over. I'm gonna send a link to you for one. Might be something different for you. Wouldn't be difficult to paint though. I could have sworn at one point there was one that they painted in blue with a yellow cross on it. Basically, they painted it as the Swedish flag. No, they didn't. That I can tell. Nothing that can. Oh, here's a cool one. That's a Grippin, though. There's a couple of different demonstrator schemes you could do on it. Here's a neat one that's red and white. But it's a War Thunder scheme. I don't know if it's real. There's a neat one. That'll be almost worth doing. Yeah, I just go with whatever one you like then. Well, just take your time, find your paints, call it good. A neat thing about this model, though, is the track units can come off as whole assemblies once they're built. And the core body has legs that tuck up underneath it. You can actually turn it into a turret, a stationary turret. So that's going to be fun to work into the paint. So, like what you see here. Ow. Oh. So let's go through the instructions a bit, then we'll go through the parts. It's half tempting to get another one, just so you could have, like, the tank and then have the stationary one set up with the tracks laying off to the side, kind of like how they do a T-95 from World War II. Okay, looks like we're starting with the batteries. I think I've got some LR44s upstairs. I'll have to go get them. So we're starting with the main hull, getting that together. It's tempting to see if I could put an LED in there. It's supposed to be red or green, depending. Nah, I'm just going to stick with it stock. I've modified enough models lately that this is going to be enough for me. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be pretty straightforward. Looks like it'll be pretty fun. Comparatively slam build, yes. The Enterprise is coming along well for those who wanted to see more on that. It's unfortunately reached the size where I can't put it under the camera anymore. Not unless you want me to mount the camera weirdly and get a broader view of the desk. But for those who have been following that, so yeah, I don't know how much we'll get done today on this. But I'd like to make this my more common model. Shit, what do I work tomorrow? I wanted to stream yesterday, but I was dealing with trying to find Arnie and all that. Last week was my um, dental stuff. So life getting in the way, as usual. 12 to 8. If I can get up early, we'll see. I'm going to be exhausted tonight. What? The positive and negative poles of the LED are connected to the bottom battery box. Oh, there's an LED for the target sight on the cannon. And then it shows where the magnetic switch goes. And you just have to tap it with a magnet. Okay. Sound system on there. Sorry about all the sniffles, guys. Just, ugh. Hmm. Apparently, there's an option to mount the legs on the outside of the tank. Or the leg armor. I don't know. We'll deal with that when we get to it. If we get to it. Isn't that the one you bought back in England 20 years ago? I need lower hull, upper hull. Let's do a quick review. We'll keep it simple. Quick parts review. Oh, you got auto when you got there. So the hull looks kind of smooth. I'll probably resist the temptation to put, wow, camera's being camera today. Cast texture on it, to be honest. It would be fun, but can't be bothered. You got the upper part of the hull here, lower part of the turret. Some really good fine detail, especially in the weld around this area here. See if the camera wants to cooperate with us a little bit. Probably not. That's okay. Lower part of the turret there, upper hull, main gun, some of the leg parts, cupola. Then you've got the fenders and side skirts for the tracks. Don't know how much I'll mud it up. Excuse me. I want to see how it assembles first, and then I'll decide how far I want to go with the mud, especially on the inside where you really won't see it. Some of the detail parts, corrugated tubing. Oh wow, it's got an M2 and a Mark 19. So you got your 50 caliber and your 40 millimeter grenade launcher. Those will be in the remote weapons turret. Spare tracks. More of the details for the fenders. Looks like some plating and cladding to go on the turret too, because that looks like it goes right there. So they say you're not supposed, you shouldn't have to paint this model, which really you don't. It's made to be snapped together. It's just made to be thrown together. I'm going to give it the full treatment like I did the Apocalypse. More of the turret parts, more of the multicolored pieces. Looks like leg armor parts, side skirt parts, turret skirts. More details. Gun mantlet, turret basket, smoke dischargers. Turbos? We got some snails on here. Look like turbos to me. More of the remote weapon station parts are on here. One thing people noted when they saw the video that came out for it, this orb for the sensor here looks a lot like the a small version of the drone from Oblivion. Now I can't unsee it. We'll make with it what we can. So, oh, and there's 4 of these sprues here, so I'll only go over one of them. More leg and detail parts and most of the suspension units for under the hull. Very Abrams-like. The track especially. The track is basically Abrams, just bigger. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes together. And what we can do with it paint-wise. So shall we start construction, or do you guys want to see me waste time on something else? I'll let you all choose. We'll probably start. Okay, so turret parts will be in here for now. Need the upper hull piece. Snap together kits for the most part are okay these days, but I still can't not glue and paint stuff. Simply for the fact of longevity. I've seen a lot of kits like this just fall apart. Like sitting on a shelf fall apart. D58. So I'm going to have to run upstairs real quick. I've got 3 button cell batteries up there I need to get. So I need to throw together that. How you doing, Alex? Welcome to the channel. H14. Which spur was H? And I don't mean that to sound like an, oh, I'm better than you, I glue. No, it's long experience. You know, I've built the Bandai Type 61 twice. And both times I've wound up having to glue parts on it because they just didn't fit together tightly enough. So once I grab those batteries, though, I will also grab the Apocalypse version, the first tank in the series that Border Model made, and you'll see how it stacks up. And what it looks like with a more conventional treatment and not leaving it all video gamey. And part of that's also the model itself. They really went above and beyond putting details into it that most most people, if they were doing a snap together kit like this, wouldn't bother with really. I mean, it looks just like a raised line right here, right? It's actually a textured weld. Same thing as that. They just make that a recessed line. No, there's a weld bead in there. So let me go grab the batteries real quick. I'll wire together all the crap, make sure it works, and then we'll press on. So give me 1 second. Ow, 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 ow. So, here's the aforementioned Apocalypse tank. Biggest downdraw. English not very good today. Biggest drawback for this kit was the tracks. They just didn't want to cooperate, but I made them work. But it was also snapped together, molded in a bunch of different colors. Uh, I gave it a more conventional treatment, as you can see. See if the lights will turn back off. There we go. Yeah, these are controlled. I'm guessing it's by a thermal switch because there's no mechanism. It's not magnetic, but you just tap here and the lights turn on and off. But it's very sensitive. But I'm guessing they may have had some issues with it because now they've included a magnetic switch in the latest one. Okay, so 3 batteries, box, and stuffs. Aries Studios, thank you for the tip. Every little helps, either for future projects or for getting supplies. So I'm trying to figure something out here. Why do I have this? I know. Duh. Ah, my face. I've seen a lot of builds of it too. Some good, some kind of left it a little too for my taste. Decal sheet for it. It really is a nice tank. This one's bigger. So where's just the turret top? So you're looking at a tank with 2 guns there. And quad tracks. Look at the turret size difference alone. Thing is, they don't give you a wiring diagram in this, so I'm gonna have to rely on my own intuition. Maybe not even cartoonish. That might be too harsh of a word. Um, there's the magnet for the switch. Okay, let's put you back in the box where I won't lose you. Um, saying a lot, aren't I? Got it now. Just paint schemes that seem a little anachronistic with it. Like they just don't fit the vehicle. They're not bad paint schemes by any means, but they just don't fit the vehicle, I guess. But I'm weird like that. I'm picky. Okay, so I know on YouTube it's not easy to post links in chat, uh, but if you're on the Twitch side, you can throw up some links or whatever you're working on. I don't even think I soldered these on the other tank. I just kind of twisted it well. I mean, I could run a dot if I wanted to. The parts are marked with what should be positive and negative, so I'm just using that as my basis for the wiring. See how it works, huh? There we go. No, it's just one thing I'm trying to do, and sorry, I'm just squirrel moments. I don't know if you've watched the channel in the past or if this is one of your first times in, really. I'm tired of the whinging Brit, if you know what I mean. Um, and that's just not to say all British people do it, but it's just you see you see it pop up mostly with UK and Aussie modelers in some terms. No matter how good the model is, there's always something to bitch about, and that's getting really old. And I don't want to seem like I'm complaining on my channel. So, like a couple times now, there's been two or three channels I know of, um, where okay, hold on. They claim to have bought a kit without knowing it was a reissue of an older kit. They thought it was a new one. Or, sorry, I'm trying to talk and think at the same time is not working. Or the kit didn't come with all the bells and whistles that they expect. So it didn't have all of the photo etch and all that crap. But it's the kit's fault. Where'd that magnet go? And they'll never buy from that manufacturer again because they bought the kit knowingly. You know, all it takes is 5 minutes on Google. Okay, cool, got it right. So this one has blue LEDs as opposed to the red LEDs. I don't know if it would be worth it to rewire them for like warm white. And I'm sorry, just watching a YouTube personality, especially a model building one where you're trying to get people to want to do the hobby, um, it's kind of off-putting when the people commenting on stuff make it seem like, people can't enjoy the hobby because they have to put the $50 in aftermarket into stuff. Yeah, exactly. Now, does it mean I will not try to do the best I can in building it? Not at all. But I'm not worried about the all important gold medal. We got a scam call. Shall we see if there's a bench out on the line? Hello? Hello?
Goodbye.
Oh, they're on to me. Like, you could probably take the apocalypse to a contest and, I don't know, might walk away with a silver at most. But I didn't build it with that in mind. I just tried to do the best I could when I built it. But I've seen some people buying like T55 photo etch to put in it, and it's like, why? Okay, so does this go in the turret? Then I have to reroute these back down to the hull, and that's why they're so long? That's what I'm trying to figure out here, is what goes where so I can build it right. Well, hell, the IPMS president is a member of my club. And even he's like, nah, just build it for fun. Don't waste the time and energy trying to be perfect when that's just not worth it. Okay, so this does get attached to the upper part of the turret. Wire, solder, and LED strip on order for what? What are we doing? So, Alex, there's another person on my Twitch channel watching as well. So, future projects? Oh, I see. So this I have to leave long because it'll be going up into the turret, and then these I'll have to come back down through the hole in the hull, like this. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to feed these, if possible. Okay. Already running into do not want territory. Well, it's just the YouTube chat doesn't show up on Twitch, so just letting them know that I am talking to somebody else on the other channel. Yeah, so I got to run the LEDs through there first. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yep. Now you're through. And then the rest of you goes like that. Okay. So you're going to be a pain in the butt mess until I get to the point where I put the turret on. Got it. I remember the apocalypse being somewhat like that as well. Hey, Hawkmoth. We're doing the Grizzly from Command and Conquer Red Alert. How you been? And it comes with its own LED lighting system that you have to flip through the instructions 20 times to figure out before you realize stupidly that, oh, it's already done. Yeah, I just short-circuited it. Hey! So apparently that LED touched both ends of the contact and completed the circuit. Come on. No, for a snap fit model, you're not snap fitting. There we go. I've been working on the Enterprise for almost 48 hours straight while dealing with a now presumed dead cat. Arnie got out. He was 17. I was up all night last night hearing meows from our cats wandering around looking for him. So we think he ran off to pass away. And yeah. Yeah. Where's my tape? It's over there. Why is my tape over there? But all assemblies for the Enterprise are basically sealed. Continuity has been checked. We are okay to go for decals and final paint. I won't have to crack the hull open and destroy the model to try and fix it. Well, we knew the time was close. We just didn't think he would do this. So I need the A sprue. That's the C sprue. Don't need the C sprue. Or do I? I will. So we need the A sprues. Let me get this box off the desk. Oofta. Yeah, I had one yanked last week, which is why I didn't stream at all last week. Didn't get to... It didn't get to Screaming Abscess territory, but I didn't want it to get there. So, and then next Thursday I have another appointment in the morning. Sorry, I'm so tired my brain can't work. Oh, for further further evaluation there. Because unfortunately, 20 some odd years of smoking, military dentistry, and my own bad dental hygiene to begin with, didn't help anything. There was other things, but that's really what it boils down to. Not not trying to downplay my own stupidity in all of it. I think we all know what depression and other life matters can do to you. Um, there's also, God, there's a lot of parts going on here. You know, wanting to make sure the wife and kids' teeth are in best shape as possible. So, kind of a, I come last kind of thing. Oof, yeah. Tooth related sinus infections, never fun. So, I'm just getting all the double parts I need right now. This is a big kit. But thank you all for being here. It is good to have an active audience to talk to. Especially with no music going on because of the YouTube side of things. Um, it's just nice to be able to just keep going, keep the dead air from happening, because I know that's one of the things that people hate most. It does, Alex. But I was up, like I said, I was up all night last night. Marbles, who was like peas in a pod with Arnie, was down here in the hobby space. A38, 34 times 2. And he was meowing. So we're thinking Arnie may have still been in the house, trapped in something, like somehow he got into the crawl space. Something stupid like that. So I didn't actually get to sleep today until 4 a.m. I was in bed at 11. That's how many times I got up. And just every time I'd hear a meow or something, um, I'd have to get up. I'd have to check it out just to be sure, because he got out. We don't know where he went. And then I'd get back to bed, and I'd just have to wind back down, put on more YouTube videos or shorts or something to just kind of try and get my head back down, right? And then right as I'm about to fall asleep again, Marbles does that crap again where he's wandering around. Meow, meow, meow. Sounds like Arnie. Run up, check all the windows, run around the house outside, see what's going on. See a neighbor cat that looks a lot like him because it's the same pattern, just more white fur. Go running off into the shadows. So it's like, Jesus. So I better be able to sleep tonight. So a 25, 23, and 42. After working on the Enterprise so much so far, I also wanted a good break. Oh, nice. God, I haven't seen Dorvac in forever. I know it's some of the kits are what were remarketed as Robotech kits back in the 80s. God, I'm glad Harmony Gold Stranglehold on that's pretty much done. Okay, so we're building 2 of the legs. We're going to have some leg parts left over. I'm going to save those when all this is done. Because it gave me 4 sprues, probably to have enough road wheels. So I'm going to have extra sprockets, extra leg parts. There's going to be some extra parts left over, so I might have some Greeblies to use on other things. What was that? Yeah, I should be able to pass out pretty well tonight. Um, Probably just take a triple dose of Tylenol PM. That'll help get me under. Let the wife have cat watch tonight. I know what you meant. Just I wish it's obviously one of those things you can't see coming when the cat when your pet does that. Um, and after what my last elderly cat went through before we put him down, I'm kind of glad we knew it was coming. He'd been eating a little less, even though we bought special foods for him, changed his diet up and all that stuff. Just when it's time, it's time. And we knew it was coming. And I know others, longtime members of the channel on Twitch, are gonna miss him because he used to be what's known as Chair Cat, where he'd jump up on the back of the chair and lay down for 3/4 of the stream and just hang out. And we even had a little thing for when he jumped up. And yeah, that's not going to be happening anymore. So I think this flips down. How are you supposed to work? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it automatically goes down when you start screwing with things. Okay. So that piece I just flipped out um, should be in the neutral position like I've got it, right? Because you have this part, which is the foot. Let's trim off all the stuff on here. I figure today though was either work on something simple. I didn't know if this was going to be here today or not. So it was either this or like a frame arms girl or a frame arms kit. Something just brainlessly fun. Or more Stalker Shadow Chernobyl. But it seems like Stalker isn't very popular, so yeah. I like that. That's neat. Okay, is that how that's supposed to go? Oh, it's because I'm holding it upside down. Okay. Duh. There. Okay. Oh, no worries. I got a lot of people around here whose first language is not English, so please do not worry about it. Okay, that's if I wanted to do the ground spike. So if I want to represent it actually being anchored. That's neat. I like that. So far, enjoyable model. So yeah, take your time with your spellings and all that. Don't Please do not worry about being perfect. I've got extended family from Bosnia and other places, so I know the difficulty. And I just put that in upside down because I'm a dweeb. But as far as I know, I think I'm also the first person on YouTube to be building this model. And it's been out for a couple of weeks now, I want to say. I'm surprised the advanced copies didn't get out to people. I can see that wearing out quickly if I do this a lot. The kit does give you they made it so you can take it apart if you want to display it as the turret or as the tracked vehicle. So there's a strong chance there might be a second one. But I was talking to Ares earlier today, though, and after the Reliant and Defiant are done, so sometime in November, at least that's my aiming point anyway. Um, I would like to track down the Nyson Designs 350th scale Klingon D7. Because I've got the 350th scale original series and the refit and the movie Klingon ships. But I don't have the original series Klingon ship in scale. But also knowing the luck of the model equations, right? We all know how that goes. You go to buy something or find something that you have wanted for years, either scratch build it or you buy the resin kit. As soon as you do that, Polar Lights will make it in plastic for everybody else. So what happened with the Kronos One kit? Somebody actually went through the effort of 3D designing and 3D printing and selling casts of the conversion parts you need for the Katinga to do Kronos One. And then as soon as they finished, Polar Lights announced they were making it. Um, that gunhead kit is interesting. There's been two over the years. I know one was by Kotobukiya, and then the other one is by some other company, the older one. I know it's out there, but it's just exorbitantly expensive. Okay, that's cool. So today we're just going to go through our preparatory construction, make sure we get everything where we need it to be. These should still be removable regardless. So I can put them in now, just to save clutter on the desk. But I will be going back and filling in and sanding down the seams there. They fit like that. I don't believe they're handed. Well, hopefully, if things go right, um, sorry, I got to change up the music, or I'm going to fall asleep here. I should be in the detail painting phase of the refit next week, possibly even Sunday. I did a decal test on one of the pies, perfect strength, perfect elasticity, all that. None of the decals are cracking or shattering like they are on the Vulcan shuttle. So, good news there. The decals should be fine. I just have to get all the colors laid out. So I'm comparing the best photos I can find of the refit. So like the Christie's auction back in 2004 when they sold off all the filming models are some of the best white light, full lit, bottom and top, just best lit pictures. So like in the instructions for the thrusters on the saucer, those little yellow triangles, it says paint them yellow. So when you say, oh, paint them yellow, you're thinking, boop, yellow. No. I've actually looked at the filming model pictures and cross-referenced it with others just to make sure I'm getting the color close. We're looking at, to me, at XF60, dark yellow. Sand. To me, a light blue for some of the missing pylon patches and the color at the front of the engines. This for the band around the bridge, and so on and so forth. So I need to work on getting all of those colors laid in. Then I can gloss it again. Then I can decal the hell out of it with the wallpaper. It's going to be a back and forth process of paint some details, decal, carefully mask. Probably use post-its to mask, to be honest, just because I don't want to risk tearing the decal off. Carefully mask, airbrush the color I need, peel off, gloss, more decals for the registry and all that. It's going to be like a 3 or 4 layer process. Uh, so yeah, not really looking forward to it. So I need G14 and 15. Beep. That's old Stalker soundtrack. I wish I could play some of the music over YouTube now. So right now we got The Prodigy, The Day Is My Enemy. A lot of people don't like my music though. Hmm. Sorry, my brain is so frazzled I've lost context. Are you just talking in general on the commentary? So, yeah. Thing is, I know I've got my own difficulties when it comes to dealing with a lot of people these days. And I'm not gonna lie, I do tend to rub people the wrong way because I don't conform to the norm. I can't abide people who should. It's a very old term, believe it or not, and I don't mean that, but I mean, if you got somebody who's ever telling you, you should do this, you should do that, they're not right. And it's an old term my father used to tell me, and I'm sure any of you guys are old enough out there. Don't should all over yourself. And yes, it's meant to sound like what it sounds like. When you should all over yourself, you limit yourself. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who think that a lot of us should be doing what they tell us. And we're seeing the results of that in things like certain video game consulting companies that are out there, like SBI. They're trying to tell us what we should do, regardless of whether it's right or not. And it's wreaking havoc. It's making it difficult for people to speak plainly and just be people. D12. There it is. And I've seen the impact from that because I don't. To quote an old '90s character, I think it was one of the Wayans brothers that played him, Homie the Clown. Homie, don't play that because we're at the 30-year cycle. At least that's what I call it. What's happening now happened in the '90s, and it, by extension, 30 years earlier, happened in the '60s. The same exact talking points, the same exact kinds of people screaming. And honestly, when I was growing up, I hate to be crass about it, but I thought we were fucking done with it, right? The examples they're trying to make now are rightly terrifying. The last time they tried to socially engineer how people think on a level like this, half the world burned and a couple million people died. And you can't ask any German companies what they did between 1938 and 1945 because of it, too. And I know it's gonna limit people who even sub on my YouTube channel because they think what goes on with their what's between their legs should influence everything they do in life, and it doesn't work that way. And it's just getting really tiring because I lived through it in the '90s growing up. A lot of us did. Um, and honestly, we're all just very tired of it, especially people of my generation. It's why you never hear, well, what's Gen X doing? And there's been other people who've commented on it too. There's been other channels that have commented on it better than I can. What's Gen X doing? We're living because we've already done this shit. We've already dealt with this shit. The very exact same stuff that people are dealing with right now today. All of it. We dealt with it. We lived through it. We're done with it. And right now it just feels like we're trying to let a child have a tantrum before we turn real life back on and say, okay, now that you've had your fun, let's get back to business. And if I come in tomorrow and my channel's shut down, so be it. I'll start another one. Somewhere else, somehow else. You know? I do appreciate the support, but I'm not going to kowtow to people who don't know anything about life trying to tell me how to live mine. And I'm still trying to figure out mine. I'm almost 50 and I'm still trying to figure out mine. So, how does that tell you? I just want to do my thing. And I don't care if anybody else likes it or not. Well, so are you, Aries. You're only a couple months different. So don't even give me that. And then if I'm old, Hawkmoth is practically ancient, you know? But we don't hold it against him. So this is actually coming out pretty cool. So this goes flippity floppity. That's my property. That locks in there. 57 bitches! And then that goes over there. And then over there. And that. And that. So I'm guessing when the basket's on, these will lock into the basket. But yeah, that is the turret section. The stationary turret. Kind of cool. I don't know how that would work practically on the ground because there's nothing to lift it up high enough so those could clear there. But hey, it's a video game. And this goes like that. I like that though. You have a pup sleeping on your foot. I need to see. No, we are currently catless. None of the kitties are here. I was hoping Mittens would join us. He's been, excuse me. Exactly, Alex. Oh, yeah. They are. They are very sturdy. And, well, like you saw on this one, you got this little piece here that flips up. It tabs into there. And then on these, there's a basket that's going to go on the rear of the turret, or not the rear of the turret, the back of the hull. And then, yeah, these will lock up like that into it somehow. I'm probably not going to display it like that very much, but it is very strongly constructed. So I need a sprue, one of them, two of them, then a D sprue. So we got the D sprue. Okay, so I need two of the A sprues and a D sprue. Trying not to lose that because that fell off the sprue. Okay. But I think the new stream goal, since it's more achievable and less likely to bite me in the ass like that 3D printer did, should be the Nice and Designs D7. It's 300 plus shipping. Set it for November D19. Trying to see where to cut it at. There we go. So do y'all think I should start doing things that are also like Twitch exclusive as opposed to YouTube and Twitch streams? Trying to get people to, do YouTube exclusive too, but just trying to get people to have a need to come to one or the other. Or is it pretty good this way? I just wish there was a easier way to get the chats to combine while live. I know. What do you mean by that, Hawkmoth? And I know visually this stream is a mess. A lot of people like to keep their desks pretty neat. I've got my desk as a disaster with all these parts. But that's okay. Now I want to know what Hawkmoth means by anything other than Gundam. I only have one actual Gundam kit to build, so the rest are frame arms or frame arms girls. Or ATK girls. Okay, that'll have to be shaved off. So I need A44, 33, and 51. Oh yeah. The key is to actually clean your bench between projects. Drop. Thank you. There it is. Ah. Back to what we were saying before, though, I have a feeling that a lot of that difficulty I was expressing in terms of it's coming around. People are going to be saying enough. I, I've scratch built on stream, I thought. Haven't I? I could have sworn I did. Ah. It was a long time ago, but I could have sworn I did. It was some quick and dirty stuff, but it worked. But I know what you mean, and yes, I have a printer for those who are new. But there's some things that sometimes you don't need to run the printer for a 20-minute part. You need it to be a right shape and right size and just slap it, you know? Sorry, looking for more motivating music. You know what? Yeah, let's do the bass line. You do, but you're right, it's not as common. It's mostly, okay, I've got my figure, it's ready to go. I've got my 5 paint colors I'll need to do the whole thing on my wet palette. Let's go. That's kind of why I like showing the construction, as boring as it is for some people. It's the best time to bullshit. It's when you can discuss the hobby. It showed, you can show people how to get around small issues with kits. Some that might be related fundamentally to the kit, others that might be caused by the person building it. You know? And this is just, honestly, this is just a small BS kit. Not that I'm not taking it seriously in terms of I want to finish it to the best of my ability, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it if things don't line up perfectly because I'm building a factory correct T90A with a welded turret. So, okay, those are both openings. What did I hear a meow? I'm hearing ghost meows now. That's what it is. Ghost meows. But I also try and keep it simple. I don't like. I really don't like showing off miracle fluids. That's what I call MIG and AK stuff, Alex. Um, Anything like that where it's just you buy a bottle and go and you have mud. Because it doesn't teach people how to do it on their own. It doesn't teach them any of the skills. It just teaches them, I can go out and buy this and not actually engage in anything. There's happy accidents that happen all the time when you're using non-standard means. I'll use oil paints before I'll use miracle fluids in a bottle. But that's because I'm also a crotchety old fart when it comes to model building, apparently. This thing got heavy fast. So I need the turbos now. Okay. We got some snails to spool. Yeah, Duck shows his stuff off really well, too. I wish I had the overall freedom of time and energy that he has. Okay. Fine, we'll do it this way then. We'll do it the way the instructions say. Put this piece on first. When we paint this, I will be rusting the hell out of this. And I'd like to get back to doing the weasel again, too. Just I haven't honestly been motivated to paint figures for a bit now. Like, even the power loader is ready for weathering. I just don't feel like painting the Ripley figure. But that's my own laziness. And I'll be the first to admit I'm lazy as hell. I mean, I have the 2001 Space Pod I started last summer. And it's still sitting here taped together. I've got the interior almost ready to be fully glued together. But then I still have the exterior to deal with. Some of the glue spoobs sanded down. Well, some kits can do both. Like this, if I really went all out on this, I could let it take a month easy. But I'm really not inclined to do that right now. As Aries said earlier in the stream, I just want to do a slam build. Just get it built. Get on with it. From the box, though, let's look at the front cover. So it's showing the tank just being gray, right? I'm thinking I'm going to go a darker gray, almost like a dark gull gray. So something cooler, but then go back over it with a diluted whitewash. Maybe try and do something where it looks like it's in a snow setting. You know? I don't know if I'll do a base, but just give it a winter whitewash and really play with that a bit. That's my idea anyway. We'll see where we go with that. D5. Because one of my problems is I get. Oh, yeah. I finished the tow one a couple years ago, and I'm working on the Mark 20 right now. I just wish it was the Mark 20A1 with all the upgraded vision equipment on the turret. It's your bog standard. It's your original issue, early eight or mid to late '80s one. If you go into my shorts, you can see the tow one somewhere further down the list. So Charlie 12. Which sprue is the C sprue again? Oh, it's right there. I'll give you that one. I'll give you the Giggity Eagle. Also want to say this thing's probably nuclear powered. It would have to be to support that kind of transforming ability. But it's a video game model. Who cares what's doing what? I also did a 16 scale Leopard 1A4 recently. Did some camouflage netting on that. As a test, because I want to do the same netting on my Weasel. It's just been base painted and decaled. I haven't even started weathering on it. So far, it's looking pretty good. Then we've got some bilge releases here. So the parts I'm putting on now, typically there would only be one on a tank. I can recognize it for the part that it is. You see how it's got that little like duckbill looking end on it? They're carried over. They're probably being used properly, but they are the bilge exits from an M60. So if the tank has to wade in from offshore, and water gets into it, the internal pump would actually flush the water out through it, and then there's a rubber set of lips on the outside that would close back down to keep water from coming back in. Like I said, they've taken this sci-fi tank, which they could have easily just said screw it and done whatever, and they gave it a sense of reality. I could scratch build it, but I already did it once in 72nd scale on the S model ones. I really don't feel like doing it in 16th scale. It's not difficult. It's really just an oblong box with some lenses on it and some other minor things all over the hull. But in general, I just don't really feel like dealing with it. I1, A10. I just bumped the camera. I'm sorry. Then again, I'd also set out with the want to make the Weasel RC, which is easily done. I've got the gearbox for it, but I was looking at it. I don't really feel like spending a lot of money on 35rctank.com to make it work. And the Chieftain or Centurion tank from Tamiya, which would have the perfect turret traverse mechanism and engine control for it in 25th scale, is still stupidly expensive. So overall, I'm just like, I'll just keep it stock. Keep it static. Okay. So I need the eye sprue. There it is. Excuse me. I've got a couple videos in my history uploaded of the build for the Mark 20. They're VOD uploads from Twitch. Nothing really to keep these in check. But I got this kit off of Sprue Brothers for, I want to say 60. When it's going for 80 to 90 other places. Okay. That's not good. really sloppy connection job here, so I'm trimming off little nubs that might cause a short before this glue sets. See if the same things... I guess I could just activate it and see. Where did I put the magnet? I just don't want to lose the little bugger. Ah. Okay, still works. Cool. You see, the Apocalypse tank was the opposite of this. Everything was down in the hull, and they just had one LED go up into the turret. Pull that into the upright position. There we go. Just a few tabs of glue to stick it all in place. And that's only step 5 in the instructions. There's a lot going on with this. We'll just keep the magnet right there on the camera mount. Where are we going next? So I need D29, I need D sprue and the A sprue. I've actually never seen it before outside of this kit and the Apocalypse. Now that I think about it, the TACOM kits could have really benefited from it because they have a lot of good lightable features. So I need 2 A1s. Okay, let's put this someplace where I won't lose it. Right there on the purple, so I'll be able to see it. Everything else is on the D sprue. Oh, 29, yep. But I also apologize again for not being on last week. I had planned on it. Things kind of went sideways. I was going to make up for it yesterday. Actually, I was going to make up for it Tuesday night, but that's when all the crap from yesterday started. And wasn't able to do it then either. D8. Sun's actually out. Maybe after my stream, I'll take my either my Merkava 4 or my IDF M60 out to the track and run it around. I also dabble in 16th scale RC tanks, Alex. Yes, dabble. I have 14 of them, yeah. None of them are doubles. And when I did have doubles, I took them apart and made them into a single. So I had a Stug 3 leftover hull, and I was gifted a Panzer 4, which I already had a Panzer 4. So what happens when you have a Stug 3 and a Panzer 4? You make a Stug 4 out of it, because nobody makes a Stug 4 in 16 scale. Not a good one anyway. Then there's the M32 recovery Sherman I also made, and okay, the Leopard 2A7 Plus, the demo vehicle. Making me feel bad, Aries. Okay, fine. You want me to admit it? I have a problem. Like I said, at least I have no doubles. Yep. And there's the Sherman, the Tamiya Sherman, and the Tamiya Tiger, which were so graciously donated. Unexpectedly so. Ah, motherfuck. That was a clear part that just went ping fuck. Well, I'm going to be on my hands and knees for a minute. Because I have no idea where that went after it bounced off of me. Is it already? Yeah, I find it. No, I know what you mean. I used to have the Tamiya Leopard too. Um, Took it to the Mid East with me. It didn't last very long. I ran the ever living crap out of it. No, I had the one that ran. And I've since got the hang long one. And for less than a quarter of the cost of the Tamiya one, I was able to upgrade the hang long one to be almost equal to it. And yeah, I love it. Then I got another one, another Leopard 2A6 to scavenge to make a Flakpanzer Gepard. No, a Leopard 1 run. The Gepard I just scavenged a tiger's guts for. But I saw that I still had enough left as far as gearboxes and other bits and bobs, so I found files for $25 and printed out all the pieces to convert it over to the Leopard 2A7 demo vehicle. Not the service version, but the demonstrator. So now I have that going too on my shelf. Okay. It almost looks like there's supposed to be something that goes down on there. Oh, that's why. Still looks like there's something that needs to go in there to retain that. I need to get an 80s tank crew now. That needs a driver. You can't have that hatch be open like that and not have a driver sticking his head out. I'd hate to be that driver, though, because you're just sitting there, got your head up, cruising along. There's no retainer on this hatch. That thing, even if you're wearing a helmet, would turtle fuck you to death. Boom! But it's a video game tank. And the model really looks almost nothing like it did in the video game, so... It's a completely made-up fictional tank that just happens to bear a resemblance to the one in Command & Conquer. But I have to say, I am very impressed with how the Hanglong Merkaba 4 came out. Very good off-the-shelf tank from them. They're nothing like the quality they used to have back in the day. Controls very well. Just everything on it works really well. I've got music from Macross Frontier going in my ears now. Because today's kit was either going to be this, or... I need to take a stand-up break anyway, so give me a moment. Ah. Oh. Give my eyes a break. When did you come down here? Mittens. Hey, buddy. So today's subject. Hi. Up. Mittens up. Come on. Mittens. Come on. Come on, thumbs. Up. Oh, Allie's here too. When did you all come down? Frankie? Come on, guys. What are you doing? Come here, Allie. Oh, come here, girl. Oh, I got you. You pretty girl. Sorry, we're having a cat break now. Good girl. I know what you want. There you go. You want to be the star of the show for a minute? You can do that. Let me close the glue. There we go. Anyway, it was either going to be this tank or the Zentradi female power armor from Macross. Kitty butt. Yeah, we've had you for 1 year now, girl. Yeah, you've grown a lot from a little thing I found in a snowbank. Yeah, you have. What? Hmm? No kisses. No kisses. Yep, somebody abandoned her and her little brother. What? Are you going to... Oh, you're going to go play with Frankie because you see he's stretched. Oh, I know what it is. There's an empty box you can't lay in. There. Right in she goes. Oh, that was a good kitty break. Unfortunately, Frankie doesn't like being held. So how long have we been on for? Just over 2 hours. See what the next steps are. Oh. I hate to say it, we might be reaching a stopping point just for sanity's sake. Because this is going to take a whole stream in and of itself. So, let's plan on. Yeah, the next day that I have full time to stream, because we're looking at 6, 14, 8 steps worth, but I've got to repeat them. So you got to think I got to do 2 of all of it. So 12 steps worth for just the track sections. However, we can do is skip that for right now. Jump ahead. Oh, that's right. You didn't see the tracks, did you, Alex? You know how the tracks for the Weasel are. Same thing. Just Abrams style. I'd like to get at least 1 more hour out of the stream, so we're going to go and push on with the turret. We're going to skip track assemblies since they're made to be separate parts anyway. I didn't just roll over a paw, did I? No, I would have heard that if I had. So yeah, we're gonna push on with the turret and just go from there. Excuse me. Tracks aren't so bad, but they're not the best either. At least it's not the Apocalypse Tanks tracks because those didn't want to work right whatsoever, and they were link in length. Seeing the differences made in this, maybe somebody at Border Model watched my streams doing those, and they learned because these are all individual link. Yeah. Excuse me again. I'd like to thank you all again for hanging out. You've kept the conversation going, which that means more than anything. I mean, you could have 50 people watching and nobody talking. It's still not as good as just having 3 people watching everybody talking. Oh, Aries can attest to this. There ain't nothing therapy's gonna help me with. Dead chat does make streaming difficult. Like, it's great that there's people watching, but the problem is you get a lot of bots just hanging out. I know that I don't think they count to the viewer count, which most of them don't. It just helps to have someone to just BS with. Actually, let's do this. I don't like how that didn't go fully seated. So we're cutting the kid pins out. Something about the kid pins and the way they sit isn't allowing the barrel to fully seat at the seam, because we know this kit has really good seams when it's fully together. God, that is a brick of a model. I like it. I like it when your model increases but weight tenfold when you're building it. Excuse me. Yawns. But again, thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. If you have found me on YouTube, I encourage you to come on over to Twitch, hang out there as well if you'd like. There's more options for interactivity over there. One of them being unique emotes. And there's also the I'll let Eagle show it. Or Aries. Yeah, there we go. I know what you meant by that. You don't have to if you don't want to. Because having the YouTube channel grow as well is a good thing. Allie took over the cat house, so now Mittens is staring at me like, why did you let her in there? Mittens, come on. Or do you want to get up in the chair? He probably wants to get up in the chair. Hey. Come on, Pally Pal. Come on, fingers. Yeah, Alex hasn't met Mittens yet, so I'll give him the rundown. He was a feral kitten born at my old place of employment 10 years ago this August. Found him almost dead. Didn't think twice about bringing him home. Rehabilitated him back to health. And I have his brother, too, also feral. But he's polydactyl, so he's got 24 toes. And yes, I talk about my cats a lot. Excuse me. The thing is, the wife almost said no to bringing him home. Until I sent her the picture that says, he's polydactyl! And showed her the thumbs. And she's like, bring him home now. Looks like we have an Abrams-style laser sight on here. Or is that leopard style? I can never remember. Where'd he go? Oh, he's on the couch. Why are you mentioning Oppa Gungam style? Why are we quoting the 10-year-old meme? Excuse me. Did I? Dude, I can't even remember what I did like 2 days ago right now. Don't be confusing me with stuff. Oh, I've got to feed things. Oh yeah. So now I'm the crazy cat person. That's why it hurts that one passed on me too. And then Frankie, he's the one that we're really wondering about because he might be a Savannah, which is a very expensive breed here. or at least parts Savannah, or maybe no, not Bengal, but definitely not just your average stripy short hair cat. He's got more spots. He's much bigger, broader nose bridge. He's just showing a lot of traits of being a much more exotic cat. D2. Hmm. Hmm. Sorry. Well, like when I brought Allie home, I wasn't expecting to keep her. Even the wife was like, "No, we can't keep him. We've got enough," which we did at the time. Still do. Um, her brother got adopted up really quick. Um, where's the part I need? But nobody wanted her, and we're like, "Well, what the hell?" So we gave it another week, and then we're like, "Fine, we'll keep her." Because at the time, usually in the spring around April, and in the fall around October, if you find kittens, at least here, I don't know about where you're from, nobody's taking them. None of the shelters, they're full. It's cat breeding season that time. I mean, yeah, cats can breed any time of the year, regardless. But those particular times of year, especially, are the cat breeding times. So you're not going to be able to find homes for them. So we just decided, all right, we'll keep her. And then a month later, my son's friend comes over. You know, we figure, okay, we've got Allie. Arnie's almost on the way out. We're not gaining too many cats. Son's friend comes over with a little 6-week old tiger stripe kitten, who is now Frankie. Um, and he's like, "You're the only cat people I know. I don't know where else to take them." We're like, "Great." So we put the feelers out, see if anyone lost him, because we could tell he was not a normal cat. Like, somebody could have paid money for this guy. Nothing. So once all of our efforts were exhausted, then we're like, fine, we'll keep him too. And in that time, Allie had warmed up to him because she was missing her brother. Okay. And that's how we have them. But we're kind of glad we kept Allie now, and we can kind of see why people didn't want her. She's showing very slight signs of feline dwarfism. She's extremely small. Um, she's got that kind of weird shoved in face like Grumpy Cat. I don't know if you remember the old Grumpy Cat memes. Um, and she's just got a weird demeanor too. But overall, she's honestly not a very attractive cat. She's the one that was on the table, by the way. But she's a good cat. She's friendly. We think that's why other people didn't want her. We love her. That too. I I agree with that. I cannot find anything wrong in that statement. So there, yeah, there's still the backlash from that. Um, that and here we have a lot of outdoor cats, and people in certain communities use them for animal fighting as well, which is stupid. But you're not wrong. Corona didn't help anything. And do I wish that I didn't have them all? Sometimes, but I'm not about to abuse them or you know put them out because I feel inconvenienced from time to time. Okay. Excuse me again. Sorry for all the yawning. I know for some of you it's later in the day too. I managed to get about 6 hours of sleep, but that 6 hours was not very restful. I finally crawled out of bed around 10:30 this morning. Um, okay, now I need the turret top. Push this off to here. Um, it's still got me just fuzzy headed as all hell though. I really hope that I can get a good night's sleep tonight. Is somebody clawing at my chair? I don't like it. But this is like, I'll show you what Mittens is doing right now. Mittens, Mitty. That's what he does. From a malnourished feral cat to couch potato. All right. I probably won't be on too much longer. I at least want to get the turret assembled externally. So we'll probably get to step 17 here and probably call it a night after that. That'll be a good 3 hour stream. Okay, first issue with the instructions. So you see this part I just put on here, this bar, hole there, hole there. That's installed correctly. The instructions have you put it in the little hole here, and then in the big hole. So they want you to do this with it, which it won't fit either way. Trust but verify. D26. Okay, I see now. Seven. Eyes are itching. I think we'll get the turret clamshells done and probably shut her down from there. Which is good because it'll be right around time for dinner too. But I hope those of you watching have enjoyed the stream. We've been able to keep a conversation going at least, which is good. It's weird. I feel like I'm talking more or being exhausted than I am when I normally have streams. No, I get you. I don't know when my next day off is. I know I've got Thursday off next week, but I've got another dental appointment. Nothing as extreme as this last week. Hey, Frank. Come on, go in there. There we go. So it shouldn't affect my ability to stream. But it's just to evaluate my condition for further repairs and replacements. I might be off Sunday. I don't know. So tentatively, my next stream day would be Sunday. But I have not been able to confirm that yet. So I won't know until tomorrow unless somebody posts it online tonight. Come on. There we go. So far, though, I'm loving this build. The parts overall are good and chunky. They're not unrealistically small to manage. Okay, is that the last internal piece? It is. Let's get this clamshell shut. Because everything else is going to be added externally. There we go. Son of biscuit. Good thing I didn't glue it yet. You need to get glued up into here. According to the destructions, it can live over here. it just doesn't give you a yeah, it doesn't give you a positive mounting point, unfortunately, which I don't like that. So I guess I can just glue it to the turret right there. Let me make sure. Okay. So let's put some super glue here. Actually, I know exactly what I'll do. I think that'll make enough room for that little switch right there. There is, it's based off of a tank unit from the old Red Alert 2 game, released back in the 90s, right when a certain bad day in American history happened. Okay. And that ain't gonna work. I need it back here. Yeah, more like that. Because otherwise, the wires get trapped in the pivot point there, which I can't have. Wait a minute. Really? I have a dumb. I gotta dry it off because I put the super glue accelerator on it. I didn't notice they left a channel here to route the wires into. But it looks like they want you. That one's the battery. These are for the lights. This will make it a heck of a lot easier. They almost want it right there, which I am more than happy to do. I'm an idiot. That's not the first or the last time you'll hear me say that there. Two little mounting tabs right there. Yeah, I think that means it's time to put this back together and then call it a day. Ah. Maybe jump on Xbox and play some Shadow of Chernobyl or something. I don't know. Just trying to make sure that none of the wires are going to get pinched when I snap it fully. There we go. There's some applique armor plates that go here, kind of like the still brew on a chieftain. These all go up in here. Then there's a little sound unit.
Destination Commander. Unit reporting. Vehicle ready.
Which hatch does that live in? I've got a magnetically activated light in the head of Optimus Prime. I think this goes here. That's what that little tray is for right there. We'll figure that out in a little while when we come back to it. Every now and again it messes up and his eyes just start blinking on their own when I haven't set them to blink. There we go. And the turret is mounted. Yeah, let's get a little tighter there. You see? I called it on that hatch. I might have to glue that shut. Don't want to, but I might have to. Okay, there we go. Yep, we're gluing it shut. I don't need it flopping open. There we go. I can still access that to put the bilge piece in. Cool. Actually, I still don't know what that's supposed to catch into. Unless it's part of the armor plates that get added to them, which we haven't got to yet. That's pretty cool, though. Yeah, these have some other thing that goes on with them. We'll figure that out on a later stream. But for now, thank you everybody for watching. Yeah, the driver's cybernetic anyway. It's AI. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subbed on YouTube, please do. Please consider it at least. I can't make you. And hopefully I'll see you Sunday if I'm off then. If I'm not, I don't know when my next day off is going to be before next Thursday. But I'll see you then. And y'all have a good day. Thanks for hanging out.